back, everybody, to the Schmoedown replay. We are the Cinefanatics. My name is Chris Adams.
I believe I'm Robert Adams.
And this is Rue.
Hi,
and
Rue.
Rue is here to celebrate the match and our guests tonight. Just going to hang out on my shoulder for a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. This is going to be The Barbarian versus Witney Seibold. And therefore, we do have a special guest on this. It is the one, the only, The Barbarian. Welcome, sir.
Sorry, I forget that it takes my entrance, does the whole thing, like, you know, that and this. Sorry, I apologize. I wasn't prepared, but it's all good. Well, you'll get to see me do that in the match itself. How's it going, guys? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
So, real quick before we start this, we've already had a little bit of run-ins with you before on these here internets.
Yes.
We have played each other over on the video chronic quizzes.
That is true. That is correct. I feel like only you. I feel like Chris typically isn't in the matches, but instead comes in and throws shade at you or trolls you while you are competing in those matches. But no, we've had some,
like in real life.
Yeah, we've had some good times together. It's been fun, and I'm very I've been very insulted that it's taken this long for you to invite me onto your show because of that. And I'm glad to finally have been given that respect.
To be fair, we've only been doing a show that we have guests on for like a couple weeks, so.
All right, well, yeah. It's taken you a couple weeks, hasn't it?
I mean, he's telling the truth here. I mean,
yeah,
it's completely our fault on that. So
yeah.
So going into this, you've already played a couple of times in the Schmoedown. How does it feel? Because this is your rookie year. How does it feel playing in the Schmoedown so far for you?
I mean, I absolutely love being a part of the Schmoedown. When I first, when I first told my friends that I was going to be in, I described the show to them. They said it's like somebody designed a hobby specifically for me, because we are live. Yes, MovieFanobi, we are live. Yeah, we I before the Schmoedown began, I've been friends with Ethan Irwin, and I know Liz Shannon Miller. We're friendly, and I've been friends with Christian Harloff for years and years. So it's been a matter of like I've always been aware of the Schmoedown, but didn't know that it was something that I didn't want to try to force my way into the game. It wasn't until Christian had kind of put out some feelers saying, "Hey, anyone know anyone that would want to do this?" And I was like, "Well, I jumped at the chance because it was something that I knew that I would excel at. I've always been a wrestling fan. I've always been a trivia fan, and I've always been a movie fan. And this, is a combination of my three of my four favorite hobbies. My fourth, of course, being karaoke. Anyone who sees the Friday night karaoke's with Video Drew, I'm on there most weeks, it's always a great time there as well.
I think we saw a video of you singing karaoke with her doing like a Hamilton song.
Oh yeah, I was probably inebriated. I'm not gonna lie. At some point in that stream, I'm passed out on the couch while other people are still singing, and I'm just like asleep next to them. So oddly enough, that was actually the same day that I taped this match we're about to watch. As luck may have had it, my internet is Spectrum, and for about a month, my internet had degraded to the point where I couldn't reliably do a stream, and I wasn't going to try to do a Schmoedown match without having reliable access to the internet. And I knew that Video Drew and Nerd Chronic live in the same abode, and they're hence the Video Chronic quizzes. I knew that their internet was strong, and so I asked if I could come over and make use of it. So there you go. And then afterwards, I just kind of stuck around, and it was just like a long day of Schmoedowning and karaokeing. In fact, in between my match and the karaoke, Lon Harris came over and used the same studio that I used for this to do one of his tag matches. So yeah, if for all those people at home, curious about whether or not the Schmoedown personalities hang out together, was that afternoon was me, Nerd Chronic, Video Drew, and Lon Harris all just hanging out in the backyard. And well, technically Video Chronic would pop in for like 5 minutes and then go back to working because he works nonstop.
Yeah.
Couple of things real fun.
Did I just call him Video Chronic? Nerd Chronic. His name is Nerd Chronic. Sorry.
Yeah. We got Jeremy Adams, one of the question writers.
Oh, what's up, Jeremy Adams?
So he thinks you're incredible.
Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that.
Yes, we are live. Hello, Craig.
Hello.
Let me see. We got Andres. Is that Craig? How's it going?
Andres, yeah, he's someone else who I hang out with at the Nerd Chronic. I call Nerd Chronic's place the Schmoedown Flophouse. Anytime you go over there, it's just like random Schmoedown competitors, just like hanging out, doing nefarious things or non-nefarious things. It's hard to say.
We flopped there a couple of times.
Yeah, there you go. You know.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you want to call that flopping, someone would call it reacting.
Yeah, right. Real quick, we're getting some interesting feedback.
I am?
Yeah, Craig. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's what's happening. I'm not hearing it right now, actually.
No, okay. If you do, I do have like headphones I can use if you're having issues. So just let me know as things go on. It could be the air conditioning. As I was mentioning before the show, I'm on the 61st floor of Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas.
Nice.
You'll see there's the Luxor behind me there.
Wow.
And there we go. And of course, this is what happens when you're on the Finstock Exchange. Gucci takes care of you. He sent me and Elvis here for the best reason possible, which is to continue our movie trivia Schmoedown studying. This is the closest movie theaters to Los Angeles are in Las Vegas now. So over the past week, we watched Unhinged with Russell Crowe, and we watched The New Mutants in IMAX, and we watched Tenet, which I cannot express enough love for Tenet. I'm assuming I'll love it even more the second time I see it, because the first time you watch, have you guys seen Tenet yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the first time you watch Tenet, it's like the first 2/3 of the film. It's hard to really understand what's going on. And the last third, you're like, oh shit, oh shoot, Family Show. Oh shoot.
Nice save.
Sorry, yeah, thank you. Very subtle. But yeah, so like the last third of the movie, you're like, oh, this is what's going on. So like, I can't wait to do a rewatch where I know exactly what's happening the entire time. And yeah, in my humble opinion, I am very excited to see a Kenneth Branagh Best Supporting Actor Oscar campaign. I think that he is a tiger in this film. It's very against type for what he typically does, and it's, in my opinion, the best acting I've ever seen him do. And I think this movie's a shoo-in for nominations for Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, Actor for John David Washington. And I'd love to see him get Supporting Actress nominations for Elizabeth Debicki, as well as, maybe give it 2 Best Supporting Actor nominations. Throw in our Pats there, because Robert Pattinson is also fantastic in this film. I'm not someone who watched the Twilight films because not to prattle on too long. The reason I knew Ethan and Christian was because I used to be a script reader for them. So we all worked at Silver Pictures together. And while I was there, they sent me the script for a film called Twilight, and I read it and I said, "This is garbage."
They
I said, "Don't make it," and they listened to me. They listened to me. Now, if someone had told the same thing to Summit Pictures or Summit Studios, Summit Entertainment, I forget, whatever. Point is, if someone had told the same thing to Summit, we wouldn't be in this mess, but we are. So, point is, Never watched the movies, but I've seen Arpats in a number of things, and I've always thought he's been fantastic. Lost City of Z, Remember Me, of course, Cedric Diggory in the Harry Potter films. Solo film, singular Harry Potter film. Poor Cedric. At any rate, no spoilers. I'm looking forward to Arbats in the Batman. And I hope he gets well-deserved recognition for this film as well.
For sure. Oh.
Yeah.
We're getting the feedback. All right.
Hear myself.
I'm gonna grab headphones so that way in case it'll make it so that's I will be right back. While I'm gone, you can speak with Elvis. He has interesting things to say as well.
Awesome. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get him sub. He's not very sturdy. There we go.
Well, hello. Nice to have you alone. Love your support work for helping out the Barbarian with all those correct answers. We know that you're probably the true brains of this operation. Even though the Barbarian is very knowledgeable himself, I'm pretty sure it's awesome having you right there by his side.
I got to be honest, I'm pretty intimidated right now. We have such a star on the show. I don't know what to do with this level of star power.
It's just way too much. Look at that Las Vegas sunset back there, along with the shining, shimmering fur of Elvis.
I'm literally frozen right now. I really don't know what to do with this much star power. I'm just completely locked up. I don't know if I can continue this show right now. This is it's just too much. Elvis is too much for me. I'm having a heart attack. Ow, that bit really hurts my neck. I can't do that.
I see the reflection of the Barbarian in the background there, the reflection in the window, and I was really hoping he was wearing pants.
For shorts.
Anyway, let's
there we go.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will take care of any kind of echo we were receiving.
I think we're cooking with
make sure I go off the private chat in the comments. I'm gonna say we cook with canola oil.
Good choice.
Do you like cooking with canola oil?
All right. Did we bring up MovieFanobi super chat?
Nope.
All right. Let's bring that up real quick. It says no spoilers. Solid performance today, Craig. Proud of you. Hello, Adams v. Adams. Hello, MovieFanobi. Glad to have you here.
So that's right. Me and my brother have not watched this match yet. I'm kind of hoping the Barbarians watched this match or at least played in this match. So he probably knows what's going on with this match. But me and my brother do not. So therefore, please do not spoil this in the chat. If you do feel like spoiling, though, there is streamlabs.com/cinefanatics right there above my head and right there that Jake Iacovetta was kind enough to post in our chat. Thank you, Jake. As always, you got our back. Make sure you spoil it at streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. It's the appropriate place to spoil it, along with a couple of numbers being moved along with your spoiler. With that, you can spoil all you want.
You can tell us the winner of any match you want as long as you're popping $100 in there. Apparently, that's what Rachel said. So
Rachel said that's the going rate for a spoiler because it's $50 per person, and you have a winner and a loser. Therefore, to spoil the match, it's $100 because if the person wins, you got to tell us the other person loses. It's the way it works, y'all.
Nice. Real quick, before we get this started, I'm looking at the chat. Just want to say a quick shout out, quick hellos to people we haven't said yet. So hello, Jake. This is a family show, just so you know. And then see Tyler's in there. Hey, Tyler, and of course Cam. So it's funny. I actually got a message from Cam earlier today, calling out the fact that she recognized that I was wearing the same outfit as I was the time that I was over there at Video Drew's for karaoke. So she figured out that was the same day. So yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Apparently, true brains of this operation.
Yeah.
She was talking about Elvis. Yes, we know.
Look, Gucci knows how to pick them, and he picked something good out of Elvis.
That he did. That he did.
Anyways, let's jump into this match. I would say, who do we got for this?
Witney versus Barbarian. I mean, first of all, we have Barbarian on the show.
He's sitting there with that white glass, like, you better pick right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't pick me, I'm gonna leave now and go on the what do you call it? Call to action. I'm gonna go to call to action if you guys don't pick me.
There you go. Well, so the honest truth is that Witney is a very strong competitor, but he has had so much bad luck when it comes to all of his matchups, and I don't think that luck is going to change today for him. So I do have Barbarian in this one. But
I'll say this before Robert makes his pick. Just like going into this match, I mean, look, and it's unfortunate that for because of we have this weird COVID season that we basically the rest of the season's just these tournaments, and so I'm on a faction with the two best tag teams in the league, in my opinion, the Founding Fathers and Who's the Boss. And we take this match prior to the a couple weeks ago when they both had their their pay-per-view matches, and so I knew at that point that there was a chance, like the only way that it's going to make it into the teams tournament is if both Founding Fathers and Who's the Boss won that day, to make them ineligible for the tournament. Unfortunately, that did not happen. So basically my season, the continuation of my season, if this as I was fearing it did at this time, relies entirely on my performance in the singles tournament. So there you go. So it's a lot of pressure going in, especially knowing that you have someone as strong as Witney Seibold, who he is a professional, well-esteemed film critic in his own right, and he's been a long time. He's a long-time Schmoedown competitor. We saw how strong Deep 13 were in their debut match when they took out Tom and Paul, who were a pair of second round picks, got taken down by Deep 13. So it's Witney is it was a very daunting challenge having to face Witney in the first round of this tournament. He's someone that I would think that I'd have to face in a later round, but the very first round, having to go up against somebody of his pedigree and caliber, was just very daunting, especially with the pressure of knowing that should I lose, this could end my season.
For sure. I mean, that is the big thing here. Yeah, the unfortunate situation of just this whole stupid pandemic stuff and just how the Schmoedown works. I would love to see what a what if might be someday of like a team up between like you and Sabrina and see what you two would actually kind of do in the tournament. But
I mean, and just because Sabrina and I aren't going to be teamed up for this tournament, it doesn't mean that we're not going to be teamed up at a later date and time. I mean, first off, just because it seems like there won't be any other options for matches. Yeah, who knows? It's always a continually evolving situation, and the powers that be, Christian and Skybound, may decide to have more matches at some point. I already see Christian posting polls about who the winner of the Kevin Smith Chris Jericho match should face next. And so who knows? Maybe there will be other opportunities down the line. Maybe the singles tournament won't be my only opportunities to play this season. That being said, I feel grateful that not counting my exhibition match, this first round tournament match is my 5th match of the season. And, there are some people who got drafted and didn't even get to play a match this year. In fact, the day I had my first match, I only got to play because somebody else called in sick. And, that person's opponent who showed up and was ready to play has not gotten to play a single match this year. So, I feel very fortunate that I've had the opportunities that I've had even before this match.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the point where we can get back into the studio and we can get all these matches that we should be getting, and just everything's back to all of its glory and everything. But
yeah, well, we'll be having a new studio. I believe the old studio no longer exists. So what I hear is the studio the studio we used to use is no longer there. But at any rate,
yep. Let's go ahead and dive into this, because we know that even though we haven't had the studio matches, the virtual season is alive and kicking very strong. So we're gonna jump in here.
Give me just a second before we go in. If y'all want to continue talking, give me just 1 second.
So this is what we call in the business vamping, Chris. How are you with vamping?
I don't know if I'm too good at it. I kind of sometimes I faint at the sight of blood, so I don't know if I could really vamp for too long.
Gotcha. Are you more like, would you be more an adult vamp or a baby vamp?
Toddler? Maybe a toddler vamp?
Toddler vamp? Okay, I see. I got you. I feel those who watched the Video Chronic quiz, I recently lost a heartbreaking quiz to Ben the Band-Aid Goddard from Dusk Till Dawn, which is probably my favorite movie of all time. I just didn't pay attention to what color blood the vampires had. It's there's so much red blood in there. I didn't realize that the vampires had green blood. Well, yes, thank you. I know that now.
So that's one of my favorite movies. I know you're aware. I was in the chat, like I wanted to be like on there like playing as well, but I was in the chat just playing the whole time. And good thing I didn't participate in that because I lost.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well,
it was
a close. But the bandit played a perfect game. And I had the one missed question.
Hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
But
all right. Now that we're all back and we're ready to go, let's dive in and see how we do in the first round here.
Now we're going to watch the lead-up stuff. At the very least, we need to watch this amazing package that Nerd Chronic put together.
Oh, always.
Always.
We will never skip a promo.
Yeah, we go front to back with the matches.
Yeah, Andres in the chat is pointing out that he missed 1.5 questions.
It's the ultimate Schmoedown tournament.
Andres came in third, and I came
in. Just like we thought, it has been competitive.
I missed one question. Andres missed 1.5 questions. Ben missed 0.
You talk about two competitors here today. The Barbarian versus Witney, the Beauty Seibold. It's a match. Mark Ellis, how you doing?
It's a match.
I love that it is the Barbarian. Somebody
this is literally a match. Yeah.
For their body grooming habits versus the Beauty, somebody who's always prim, proper, dapper. It's going to be a clash of style, Christian.
I'm completely taken aback always by Ellis's choices for character name.
Suit on, or does Elvis, Barbarian's companion, have his game?
Especially in the IG tournament, they were spot on. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Exchange. Put a lot of
Nick Rivers would be Val Kilmer from Top Secret.
He took the one big win against Clee Wiggins earlier in the season, and then he did very well, made it all the way to the semifinals.
Just some that was probably one of the best ones, right next to the refrigerator.
Has been highly
thank you. In the kitchen.
That was the funniest place to be like shooting from.
Hear anyone who's talked about this guy.
I've tried to make it a point to have every remote match I do be in a different setting, different location. I like to, I like to keep it fresh. I like to keep it interesting. I like to be, I like to have it as entertaining as possible.
Keep you guessing.
He played in title matches. He played in number one contender matches, and he still hasn't grasped the game. If he does get it, if he ever figures out how,
I loved his hair during that when he did the I think that was the Eraserhead intro that he did.
It's not
so good.
To someone that their worst enemy.
Pour myself another glass of Shiraz.
It actually is something you can.
Oh, there's no chair. Are we gonna get a Molly sighting this time?
Christian. So when a lot of fans were looking at the bracket, I think they might have checked.
Molly's seat isn't pulled up
as to who's going to move on, but you really got to think your way through this because Witney Seibold is just.
I want my money back.
I want my money
away. Possibly running away with this thing. Barbarian has competed.
What up, Eric?
What's up, Nerd Chronic?
But I think Witney Seibold is going to be another one where we're looking at a couple 5-point questions at the end of this matchup.
Easily could be because that's why I mentioned that with Witney. all of his big losses, he scored like 35, 40 points. I mean, the amount of points this guy has, if you look at Frankie numbers, he's so knowledgeable. You and I have known him for years, and that's why.
Yeah, Whitney really is. He really is one of those.
That's the other.
Like he really should have won a belt by now.
And
well,
Dagnino,
I was gonna say he's one of those competitors that his record does not
went from not liking each other
does not represent what he actually knows.
Again. So we're gonna see if that
Well, I
has
mean,
anything to do.
If we look at going into this, he's 0-2 in singles. So he's only played in 2 singles matches before this. One was against the kid, who fantastic player in his own right. Like made it to the semifinals of the Ultimate Schmoedown Tournament last year. And then who was his first singles match against?
If we see Gucci and get to talk to him today,
His first singles?
Something that no human would ever think about putting on together.
I don't know.
And you do
I'll look it up real quick.
Aspect of him. He's a ball player from way back, and he knows how to coach. Garth, can that
yes, Andres, you can play along in the chat. Perfectly fine.
The question in the last month: how locked in is Ken? How much is he working with his competitors on a day in, day out basis? Because say what you want about Gucci, and I agree with your imbecile.
We got enough time on the delay between the chat and the.
Not only you, not only me.
Well, we're watching that.
You
day in, day out. Because
no, that was today.
At the top of their game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things here.
Really?
I looked at it backwards.
They had lost their lead on first place.
No, he hasn't. Whitney hasn't played
and
this season.
Oh no, I believe Nerd Chronic is saying David Del Rio was his first match.
You talk about the
okay, not this season, but
no, exactly. It wasn't a season.
That would have been last
the
season.
only one left minus Whitney. So if Whitney doesn't get the job here today, get the job done here today, then everything is just on Jader's shoulders. So without any further ado, we're going to show exactly how we got here.
Oh, here's the promo.
I want you to draft me. I'm going to need a draft next year.
Are you really?
You got it. Yeah, you got to draft me.
The exchange needs an action hero. I'm going to go with the Barbarian.
I love when you stood up at the draft with that too.
Top 4 guys in the league as it is. This guy might be number 5.
Feels like a Hans Zimmer score.
Yeah,
it does.
What the Barbarian does is study the game. He knows how to play it. He knows strategy. Witney Seibold just puts on a microphone and comes to play.
What have I to fear? He's a barbarian, and I am a Rome that will not fall to his barbarism.
I can tell you this, I've been on the announcer's desk for a lot of Whitney's matches, and every time he sits down, he is capable of being the star you were all told he was going to be.
Whitney is one of those guys I look at, he's got the talent, he's got the skills, he just had some bad luck.
There's 2 types of Schmoedown players, people who know how to play the game and people who don't.
What I discovered in studying with Craig is there's a whole new path to walk, to study, to become an even stronger player. Oh, hello there. Elvis and I, we believe a lot of things. We believe that Witney Seibold is a great player in an oversized suit. We believe that Witney Seibold's still that player trying to follow in William Bibiani's shoes.
Oof.
Most importantly, we believe that we're going to be the ones to put Witney Seibold out of his misery today.
A little trip up, and suddenly all the podcasts, all the reaction channels start tearing down these performers. Frankie Numbers gives you some Google sheet of the first percentage match of the. That's all it is. Chatter.
He had some specialties that do not threaten me. He has some knowledge that does not threaten me. This man is uncouth. I am couth. So you better watch yourself, Barbarian, because it's a sophistication that you do not want to anger.
That's going to be one of my favorite lines from this season.
He is
I am
uncouth.
couth.
I am couth.
I am couth.
I have to say I love Whitney. He's fantastic.
Mark, it's exactly what we said. The Finstock Exchange has been on top of the.
in terms of
or to keep that.
Yeah, first, let's go pause. I know there's always a big Yodi for Chronic hashtag. There we go. Hashtag Yodi for Chronic, which is a much deserved hashtag. And at the end of the day, like I've said this once before, it's like, I almost feel like instead of giving Nerd Chronic the Yodi Award, we need to make a Nerd Chronic Award that's like he is his own head on a Mount Schmoedown. He is the like he has his hand in every single match, and especially with what we've had to work with this year with these digital matches. It's just like I can't like the entertainment value of what we see would be not nearly as good, not nearly as high if we didn't have Nerd Chronic doing this every single match in and match out. He is phenomenal.
So if I hear you right, what you're suggesting is
there we go, Chronic. Hashtag Chronic for Chronic. He should be given the Nerd. He should be the first recipient of the Chronic Award.
Are we making deals now? Is that what's happening? Chronic for
Chronic? He's like, I don't know. He might be there like, yeah, I'm busy. I don't have time to mess with that stuff. I know I'm in California, but I got a lot of work to go do.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic promo.
No, I always get goosebumps watching Nerd Chronic's promos. They're so fucking. I apologize.
They're so just fantastic. Yes, I agree. Yeah, one of the things when we went to, I mentioned you at the draft that when you got picked, I don't know, I can't remember if they actually showed it in the video. They did.
No, they did not. I didn't know what the camera setup was going to be. They only had the stage, but so it's not. But I'm glad you were able to see it live.
Yeah, if you were at the draft, once you got picked, you stood up and did the whole cheering, right there where you sat. And
I stood up. I did the hair flip. Amazing. I did the thing. I was wearing my bright gold jacket because Christian told me dress to impress, so I was like, all right, this is my dress to impress jacket.
That's going to impress people. Yeah. So that was fantastic. The other thing is, we were sitting there. I had Whitney to my immediate left. Like we were touching shoulders while watching the whole awards and draft. And that, he was intimidating to sit next to. And I'm like, I want to talk to you and pick your brain, but we got to watch the show.
Yeah.
I was smacked between Whitney and Riley. I'm like,
wow, nice. Good place to be. Good place to be. Can I also just say real quick before we get into the match, just like the to what Whitney did in that promo work, it's like Whitney is someone who the comedy, the comedic timing, the character work, and the knowledge is all there. He is in my mind a superstar in this league, and it's it's only a matter of time that before his whether it be the stars aligning for his singles career or if he gets paired with a team that goes all the way, and he's came within an inch of he's came within an inch of getting that title, that team's title. It's not like he has almost been champion, and I'm sure one day will be a champion.
I feel like Whitney for sure is definitely one of those also that is just a moment away from having an entire storyline based around him, because I think that he's somebody that could handle it if he's got the time to be able to put into it. Because he could easily someone's taking over the league or whatever kind of off the top of my head, some kind of storyline he had with Mike before, but this time it's Whitney oh, I'm tired of being in the shadows. I'm an evil mastermind type storyline, or he could do what Lon Harris did this year. Lon Harris has done
like what Lon Harris is like. Lon Harris took his character to just a whole nother level this year, and I feel like he's just kind of emerged from all this as like, just kind of like a next level person, just in terms of like character comedy and knowledge. Just like I was saying about Witney, you can say all those same things about Lon Harris, and those are the people that I aspire. Like that's what I aspire to in this league. They get it in terms of character side, and in terms of comedy, and in terms of knowledge, and that's they are who I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, I would say you're the type of person I want to be when I grow up, just with your movie knowledge and that hair. I mean,
well, thank you. Well,
can we watch the match before I embarrass myself?
A little late for that, Robert. But yeah, no, continue. Yeah.
So there's no way we could have started the match from the moment we started the video. So no, we can't start the match before you embarrass yourself.
Well played, Chris. Well played. There's the expert.
Show had a very up and down kind of weird season, and this could be a big one if Witney can get this win.
Yeah, and I don't want to Tim Duncan our competitors by taking them for granted, but that was
is that a sport reference?
That's vintage Barbarian.
I feel like someone that I've heard of before.
Amazing package that Nerd Chronic put together.
Is that like a Texas sport reference?
Maybe like
Christian, it's almost like when these
San Antonian-ish. I don't know.
That's not a word.
Game. So maybe we just keep doing.
I'll make it a word. I'm the older one of us two. I'll make it a word.
It's definitely offensive. Also,
one of the best, if not the best, on
San Antonio
microphone stuff. But
I apologize to our fellow San Antonians.
That doesn't mean that it hasn't been.
Both Shannon and Ben Goddard are.
I was good luck getting Shannon or Ben on this from now on.
Alonzo and Deep 13 and Bonnie Somerville
or our grandmother.
Great so far. Just he hasn't gotten that big win yet.
She lives there.
Trader, obviously,
it'll be awkward when you guys fail to book your grandmother on the show. Like you try to ask her, I was like, no, sorry, kids.
No. And Count Finstock.
It's not as awkward as if we did book our grandmother for this.
Guys, look, let's start here. Ken,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm in the mood for some Count Chocula now.
You have been very vocal about.
Ooh, it's almost that season.
In the past,
it is.
Yeah.
Going up against him.
Well, there's almost Count Chocula. It's just that season's when they get the blueberry, the blueberry, and the Frankenberry.
What do we got?
Oh yeah.
I love
it. That was one of my favorite cereals growing up.
Which one?
The Count Chocula. And Frankenberry was really good too.
I was always a blueberry guy.
I could never find Blueberry when I was a kid. Like I always saw pictures of it, but I was like, it was never in the grocery store. I don't think it was till like after I had gotten out of the military before I had found it finally.
I don't care.
Well, it's nice around Halloween when they like bring out all the monster cereals. So that's good. They got like them. I forget what like the mummies one is. There's like a werewolf and a mummy too. I forget.
Yeah, there was the mummy and the werewolf. The werewolf I think was like the fruity flavored one. I can't remember what the mummy was.
That perfect storm of competitors.
I don't know if I've ever seen either one of those.
The mummy and the werewolf.
Yeah.
So those weren't like when I was growing up. Those weren't really out there. Those had already been phased out. But in recent years, with the like when they do like okay in October we'll produce all these. They go back and bring them all in.
Every subscriber.
Yeah, Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy.
So, Gucci,
that's it.
There we go. Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy.
Nobody would be caught dead on the street wearing what you are currently sporting, but you have done a great job managing.
Oh yeah, they did bring him back.
Contender for Manager of the Year once again. But
here's the thing: like, in all honesty, Gucci would actually walk down the street wearing that.
I can't imagine he doesn't.
Like, anyone who's had like even like a minute of talking with him in real life, you're like, yeah,
supremely dedicated.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't take anybody like
and by the way, he is what you see.
You know what he did to Cleveland. Obviously,
100%.
that was in his first match. He was fantastic. Came in and geeked him and almost took the whole thing. Brought Chance down to
that man's a genius.
This guy he's going to have a tough road in this tournament. And
careful, Tyler in the chat's going to get mad at you for not talking about Kaiser.
Maybe.
Oh, we're still dungeon heads. We still are big fans of the dungeon.
player on like a subpar team.
I love
Yeah,
talking to Kaiser, but
I understand that notion. See, because myself, I'm a lifelong Lions fan, but I also like to root for teams that win.
But to say Barbarian,
wow.
Yes.
You very come.
Dude.
Kaiser is the type of person that will pop up on here and he will tell us, "Oh yeah, if you're dungeon heads, prove it and kick him off your stream." And we're like,
it's just you inherited a team, and right now,
And I'll be like, no, we
this
promised
is
the
a
people the
massive
Barbarian. We're
improvement.
giving
Do
them
you
the
think
Barbarian.
that you can,
and I'm like, Kaiser, go grab 50 people to pop up on our stream and view this.
We just need
Right.
momentum. We just need momentum. The 1969 Mets end up in the World Series, but it was the Cubs who blew the lead.
We'll
The
kick
Mets just
guests
kinda
off
worked
for
their
like
way
1 million
back.
subscribers.
Franz Svoboda, the whole
Oh yeah.
team working their way back. That's what we are right
Wow.
now.
Well, no, not to be offensive. We'll then turn around and pay you that $1 million subscriber money.
Some
of it.
Anything to
I
say,
was going to
Ken?
say, for 1 million subscribers, kick yourselves off.
Exactly.
I mean,
My competitors let my players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Well played, sir. Well
Look,
played.
because I'm a
down.
just because I give my players the respect and distance they deserve.
And we lost subscribers. Well, that didn't work.
Hey,
Damn.
hey, you study
Dang.
page for
I would assume you would have gained like at least 10 from that.
chance
Different. All right. Well,
You'd
expect
think.
nothing less from you two. All right. Let's remove Finstock, remove Ken, and Mark. We're ready to
Hey,
go.
look, they're trying to
it's amazing that everything goes through StreamYard now. Like even, I mean, you look at this, they're through StreamYard, and everyone does the same. Like, oh well, let's shut them up. Just
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
everyone does that same joke, and it's good every time.
Intro.
Yeah, even now.
Representing Burning Druids with a record of no wins, 1 defeat in
That
the
wasn't funny.
singles
Yeah,
division.
yeah, it's funny now.
He is Witney, the Beauty.
That one was funny.
Seibold. Witney Seibold, the man.
Question is, how
here.
far can we take this joke
How
before
are
it
you,
gets
my
old?
friend? How are you feeling going into this first round?
Never gets old. Literally never gets old.
Oh, I'm feeling
Like the fact he always has his fingernails painted. Where?
I've drunk my tea, had a shot of gin, and I'm ready to take down the barbarian hordes.
Did you put the gin in the tea?
Yeah, Whitney, you look extra proper today. Was a manicure involved? in
Rolling
your
down the
preparation
street,
for
smoking
Second
Indo,
Show?
sipping on gin and tea. It doesn't roll off the
Like,
tongue.
Just
All
a
right.
lot more fabulous.
All right.
I'm gonna leave him off this time.
Whitney, I have to ask before we move. We get Barbarian in here.
Mine on my money and my money on my.
Oh, damn it.
It's the kid who at the time was a rookie, and obviously we know your history with the kid and Bibiani, but this is another
peace and quiet.
type of rookie here.
Yeah, I
in
know,
the
right?
Barbarian.
It's nice.
About him? Have you watched any tape on him, or are you just ready to?
Yeah,
kinda,
actually, can we pause this real
see
quick?
what's next?
Yeah.
He's threatening, and he does have his special.
So I was going to say briefly. So this may come as a surprise to anyone that's seen me on a number of streams, especially the karaoke stream, because I am someone who drinks. Some may say to excess, but I would say only only if the mood calls for it. But it's found it interesting. Whitney mentioned there that he had a shot of gin before the match. I'm someone that I will. If I have a match, I will not have a drink at all the day up until the point of that match. Once the match is over, I'll drink all I want. But
Oh yeah.
I've played trivia long enough that I know the difference between my brain on alcohol and my brain on not on alcohol, and I absolutely refuse to drink before a match.
You're not Josh McCouga.
I wrestled on mine because at the studio they had like a couple of bottles there just in case you needed it, and I was like, should I take like a couple of shots before playing because I needed to like calm the nerves all of a sudden. I was like, I don't know. I went in without it, and I probably should have done that. I probably should.
Yeah, I mean, and I have other things I use to drink to calm the nerves. There's there are nerve calming beverages that I take very much advantage of throughout the days of my matches. and it's that gets me focused and zen without inhibiting the nerve brainwaves or whatever in my brain.
For sure.
Interesting. I didn't know they make those.
Well, I mean, I don't want to give away my secrets, but I suggest it to my team. My teammates, I always, I give them my suggestions. Some of them, some of them listen to me, and some of them, choose their own. They have their own pregame rituals. And,
choose their own adventure.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Look,
look. I mean, I'm new to the league. There's some people that have been playing this league for 7 years, so they got something they do before every match for 7 years. But look, they've been in the league for 7 years. They got to be doing something right. But yeah, Caroline Lynch. No, there's there are, yeah. Everyone's got their own methods, but I don't want to give away too much of my trade secrets, other than my pre-match ritual never involves alcohol.
Bring back the video screen. Share the. I love this image that we've paused on. You come to me on this day of my daughter's wedding. I give you an offer he couldn't refuse. Yeah. That's what it looks like.
I am Kuth.
I know that he is very much a deep cut geek type, but maybe his tastes aren't so sophisticated as his name would imply. So I think I know
that's
not
just
to
to throw you off.
Him, but I also know to have a plan of attack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Witney the Beauty Seibold, we're ready to scrap with the Barbarian. All right, putting you in the waiting room. And his opponent, representing the Finstock Exchange.
Joke's on you. He's already here.
One win, no defeats, and one knockout. This is
I like to have fun with StreamYard.
It's amazing for how simple StreamYard is, how much fun you can have. Oh yeah, this looks familiar.
Music always epic and coming in with it's just that music, by the way, David B. You can hear the music. You want to get that music? You can get it at the store. The link's in the description because it's one of my favorites. It's so good. The Barbarian
fantastic.
Is that just the Finstock theme?
The Barbarian.
The what?
No, that's my own personal theme. That's the Barbarian theme.
Legacy. This.
Oh, you have your own personal theme. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a separate theme for Finstock
that we've ever
Exchange.
had in this league. Barbarian. So you and Elvis, you had a nice run in the Inner Geekdom. I know maybe not the
fully listen to that one later,
but you did very well.
The OCD part of me wants you to go back and fix the green screen.
Underway. How?
Me too. I'm not gonna lie.
You and Elvis to win this tournament.
Just scooch you over just a little bit that way. Yeah.
Darkest, just before the dawn.
I know. Let's be honest. You know what that part in the green screen looks like?
Stop.
It looks like a part in a green screen.
Have begun thirstier and hungrier for the blood of my competitors. And I'm looking all the way down the line, not overlooking anyone. I'm gonna sink my teeth into anyone who comes my way. I'm gonna throw their bones to Elvis.
Barbarian,
that green screen joke was not worth talking over him for.
Before the weekend is out, you competed from many rooms in your house thus far. We recently saw you in your kitchen, and maybe your refrigerator had distracted Elvis just a little bit. What room are you in right now, and why is this the room that's going to bring you victory?
This is the room of multi-dimensions. In this room, the screen behind me can become whatever I desire. And right now, what I desire is a victory lap.
Fair enough. All right. Well, the Barbarian is here. He is ready against Witney. And now,
so I didn't do enough prep beforehand to put anything on the green screen. I was hopeful that maybe Nerd Chronic would do something in post, but he didn't. But I don't know. I feel like maybe people in their, I see people put things on green screens and post all the time of people, when they accidentally wear green online. So, more power to you. More power to you, the internet.
Have some fun with that.
simply ask
Please do.
yourself,
Please do.
15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an
I could
answer.
have you like coming out of all kinds of weird things.
Once we
Especially with
ask
that
you
opening,
Welcome.
right?
to reveal
To Jurassic
what you wrote,
Park.
please show your
Dinosaur in the
answer
background.
attempt
That's
to
a classic.
verbalize your attempt into the microphone.
That's a classic.
I mean, I made Bruce Willis watch the Kevin Smith versus Chris Jericho match. I can make you come out of all kinds of
If you
crazy
want to
stuff.
buy yourself another 15 seconds, use the JTE rule. You also each have one challenge to be utilized at any point throughout the 3-round match.
You all of a sudden got like really scared on that.
I see Tyler in the chat seems to be a little upset at my trashing of the dungeon. I love the dungeon. I love everyone in the dungeon. We have some dungeoners in the chat as well.
Elvis and I are always ready to rock.
I didn't want to interrupt myself.
Ready to go. And Barbarian, you named your pelt Elvis. I'm a big Elvis fan. What's so funny about Peace, Love, and Understanding? Radio, those are great songs. So
Is that
props
an
to you.
insult to call it a pelt, Barbarian?
Yeah, he is not a pelt.
And to call it Elvis Costello as opposed to the great Elvis. I see what you did there.
I mean, in fairness, this isn't Elvis Presley. This isn't. I don't know if anyone's seen Elvis Presley, but Elvis Presley looks much different than Elvis.
Here it is. Action.
Christian got legit offended on that.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and what other performer reprised their roles from the original Terminator in Terminator Dark Fate?
Oh.
Christian, dozens of fans have enjoyed my name swap.
I feel like that's like a question that I'm supposed to be like in like deep thought trying to figure out. I'm like,
no.
Oh, wait,
round one.
I've
round
seen
one.
the trailer.
That's fun.
It's round one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad.
One.
It's
pens down, please. And we
it's
start
always your
with,
first
Craig.
instinct.
Linda Hamilton.
Yes, Witney Seibold.
Linda Hamilton.
That's correct.
Boom.
1 point.
Linda Hamilton.
Get to the next
Hamilton.
question. Mark.
Christian, because into the world of the 1990s.
That's terrible.
Movies and Aquarius.
That's great.
Who stars as Steve Kovacs, who Jim Carrey's character fixates on in The Cable Guy.
Oh man, I don't know if I've ever actually seen The Cable Guy.
This movie
I love this film, and it's funny because this film got trashed around the time it came out. I think part of it was because Jim Carrey came out the year after Carrey's huge year, and
I didn't like it. It took some time for it to grow on me, and I actually really like The Cable Guy now.
Matthew Broderick.
Yes, Barbarian.
Oh yeah, Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, I could have.
Matthew Broderick.
Trying to get somebody to say Ben Stiller if I was to guess.
yeah, exactly. It was a dark comedy. I think people didn't expect a dark comedy after the three slapsticky films he did in '94. Then he did this, and other people were like, "What?"
Earned an Oscar nomination for her performance in 2018's "Can You Ever Forgive Me?"
Yes.
They had all the fans out here. Hope y'all are doing.
If you guys have
well.
not seen this film is fantastic, and
I kind of want to just because of her performance alone.
Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name completely. I know who it is.
Pens down, please. And Barbarian.
Elvis's hot take is that she should have won.
Melissa McCarthy.
That is correct. And Witney Seibold.
Richard E. Grant too, but I said Melissa McCarthy.
You know, I really hate it when you know the answer and the name just doesn't come to your head.
Yeah. So
and we move on.
To make my point after this.
Movies and the question.
Yeah, Richard E. Grant was fantastic in it also.
Sylvester Stallone, Ray Liotta, and Robert De Niro in 1997's Copland.
So going back to the previous one,
finish your little pilot there.
There's always a lot of talk about female directors not getting enough credit, but I like Muriel Heller, who did "Can You Ever Forgive Me?" and then also did "A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood." Is the one who should really be getting a ton of.
No, and Barbarian.
It is a guess. I guess John Frankenheimer.
No, it is not.
James Mangold.
Really?
That's why I love
James Mangold did Copland.
It wasn't Sylvester Stallone.
No, I knew it was not Stallone. I just couldn't. I couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah.
All right. they both
in my defense, well, not my defense. Look, I just didn't know the answer. But in terms of like my guess of John Frankenheimer did similar type films, and actually the year following directed Robert De Niro in Ronin. So it was. I felt like it was like a good bad answer. Good miss. Good miss.
It's fascinating.
Yes.
Window.
Spell his last name correctly.
Things well worth.
I can't.
Yes.
Nope.
And
It's spelled like it sounds.
Actually, I might have.
I think I might have too. There's a random letter in there that just
It's
doesn't make sense.
SCH, right?
Remy LeBeau himself, Taylor Kitsch.
Yes, and Whitney.
This season's Sam Worthington, Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah, there's like a random S in there for some reason.
Yeah, I think I misspelled it. I think you guys spelled it right, but it's okay.
Some shade at Taylor.
I forgot that I misspelled it.
We still got what you said. Phonetically, it was correct.
All right,
Yeah.
we move on to
Yeah.
the world
This
of
isn't the spelling trivia Schmoedown.
Well, not this time.
Elvis. Your question. Jackson Shepard and Michael Pena play motorcycle cops in this.
Oh, jeez. God.
No,
Of what TV show?
This movie does not exist.
it shouldn't.
Speaking of which, I believe.
I will say though, Michael Pena is one fantastic actor. He can do both drama and comedy very well when given the correct roles. When given garbage like this,
Chips.
Yes, and Barbarian.
Chips.
Correct. 5-5.
Chips.
5-5 as we get
I'm hungry.
into the next question. Question
Want some
7.
chips?
Horror/thriller. Army of Darkness.
Oh, yes.
Third entry.
yep.
Don't mean.
Yeah, I always gotta love when you get an Army of Darkness question.
I'm just really curious. Who was nicknamed Chips and why?
Sam Raimi's a Michigan guy like myself.
I'll tell you.
So if you didn't go to the University of Michigan, you went to Michigan State, but still, they did an anniversary. They did a 25th anniversary screening.
This is his boomstick.
And we start with
It
Barbarian.
is.
Evil Dead.
Yes, and Whitney.
The Evil Dead franchise.
Yeah.
And we have it. So 6-6. This is the final
And the only reason my brother knows that is because of me.
That's right.
In 2003, I went to
movies.
with the
on a computer, more likely.
the 25th anniversary screening. It was fantastic.
Of Tintin.
So the answer to your question is Alex Marzonia, because he bought 87,000 bags of chips when we needed food in
Chips.
A lot of Doritos backstage.
5.
Oh yeah.
4. 3. Still available.
I think I got the I before E, but
and
yeah, whatever.
Steven Spielberg.
Oh,
and it was.
No, yeah, the I before E. I got the E.
Yeah,
Before I.
Steven Spielberg.
I got the E before I, but
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's I before E, except after C, or when it sounds like A is a neighbor in way.
Both. Answering
And you'll always be wrong no matter what you say.
So, Mark, round number 2, how's it go?
Yeah,
That's the whose bid is that? That's
teaching the Barbarian.
Brian Reed.
I'm right there with y'all.
In round number 2, it's the
Well,
I'm a couple behind.
Doom and
I'm a couple
ultimately,
behind.
Yeah, what are the scores here?
Who's going to spin the wheel once
Yeah,
they
5.
settle on a category?
7.
5, 7. All right. Well,
I missed the same one y'all missed, that Copland one.
yeah.
Penalty for
That was a I would say that's a hard question right in the middle of round 1.
You know, it's hard, but it should it's one that I should have known. I feel I'm annoyed at myself for not knowing it, only because I've loved James Mangold's more recent work, and I have just never bothered to like. The funny thing is, like, I actually know some like early cuts of his, like for instance, he co-wrote the script to Oliver and Company back in the 1980s, but never bothered to examine his full filmography.
Wait, James Gold co-wrote the script to Oliver and Company?
James Mangold co-wrote Oliver and Company,
Well done.
the Disney film.
Tough one, that Copland one.
Weird.
He's got a fascinating
It's
career.
been 23 years since
Why
I saw it.
should I worry?
One of his film's best performances.
He's got
how
some
you feeling
surprises,
about
I
this?
think.
You want to roll first?
For some
I love Copland. For me, holds the rare distinction of being a film that I watched in the theater by myself.
Let's rock it.
Yeah.
Stay calm.
All right, so the wheel is on.
I have a couple of those.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Nobody likes me.
I went to the theater with my siblings, and they all wanted to watch something else. I was like, nope, I'm going to watch Copland.
Ooh, Scorsese.
Second starting now.
How you feeling?
What else is on there?
I
Mr. Scorsese, but there's other things on here that I like.
Ooh, Mel Brooks would be fun.
See if I can get a knockout.
Mel Brooks would be fun.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, anything there you don't like?
No.
Okay.
All right, here it is. Here's the final spin here for the Barbarian. Whatever he gets here.
Scorsese would be hard.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love Scorsese. I feel like I would do well on a Scorsese wheel slice, but there were a couple wheel slices to put on there that I felt I could go 8 for 8 in, and I knew I'd have to go. Here you could pause this again real quick.
You get lost.
Sorry.
And now we.
Sorry, I just want to, not to talk over the video, but yeah, no. So in terms of just spinning away from Scorsese, it wasn't because I don't know or enjoy Scorsese. But it was a matter of there were, I mean, look, we're 7-7 right now. I'm going up against Witney Seibold. I need to have as strong of a wheel as possible. I didn't see any. I mean, in general, I don't really see anything on the wheel ever that scares me. And there were a couple things that I specifically put on this wheel that I, knew I could get. Go 4 for 4 on, and Oscars is I've said in that the first match I have not been shy about saying that I am a big fan of Oscar trivia, and so I put it on the wheel in this match, and and I landed on it here. So let's see how this goes.
I would say behind the scenes, I don't think Oscars is one of those that typically most people put on the wheel themselves. It's typically one of the categories that when we're watching it, you're like, oh, I hope they don't get that one. Because for the most part, I don't think many people are that good at Oscars anyways. Like most of us watching, I mean. Not necessarily the competitors, but
I mean, even
Oscars, it's an easy category to study for.
I mean, it is and it isn't, because if you see my first match, I get a steal from Clee Wiggins in my first match about an Oscar film from 1929. So there have been over 90 years of Oscar movies. So there's yes, there are things to study, but it is a very. It's not nearly as easy to study as, say, a director or an actor, because it's so wide. But it is something that I personally have been studying for the last 12 or 13 years. It's just been I compete in other trivia competitions, and this is something that I've studied specifically to help me in those other trivia competitions. And so it's something that I came into this league. One of the things I told Bobby Gucci when I told him he should draft me is look, I can beat anyone in this league in Oscar trivia, and I stand behind that.
So I would say maybe an Oscar trivia exhibition match.
I mean, I'd be down for it.
That might be a good one.
Bateman would probably be in on that too.
Yeah.
If you can get Bateman and maybe Scott Mance, that could be fun.
I think with the Brendan the Kid Myers also really good at Oscar trivia.
Yeah.
Now, if there was an Evil Dead exhibition match,
okay,
I'm down for that.
And Barbarian.
Maybe an Evil Dead video chronic.
4 questions
there you go.
In the realm of the Oscars.
I would be terrible at that because, again, horror movies are not my genre.
To answer the question,
Nerd Chronic, if you're still in the chat, put together one of those for us. Evil Dead trilogy
Timothy
quiz.
Hutton was 20 years old when he won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, making him the youngest winner
Yeah,
ever. In that
pause it real
category.
quick. Pause.
What
Pause.
film did he win for?
Pause.
Timothy Hutton.
I'm just trying to give you guys a chance to answer the questions.
Oh my God. Timothy Hutton was 20 years old when he won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, making him the youngest winner ever in that category.
I knew the answer when they said Timothy Hutton.
Oh, he won. Okay. What film did he win for? I don't know.
That youngin.
I unfortunately, while I am a cinefanatic, I am not that strong on the backlog, the filmography of Mr. Timothy Hutton.
Well, there's a few other. I mean, he's a supporting actor in this, so he's not the main lead. But this film is was a Best Picture winner itself. Does it say Best Picture in here? Oh, it does not say Best Picture. Yeah, he won Best Supporting Actor for Best Picture winner that also won Best Director in 1980. The film, of course, was Ordinary People, as I will say in a second when you hit play.
Interesting.
Ordinary People.
For 2 points.
I would not have gotten that.
All right.
Yeah, this next one you don't have to pause nearly as quickly.
For 2 acting nominations in the same year. Which actress achieved this feat previously in 2006?
Meryl Streep.
I mean, that's a good guess.
So I'll say part of the reason why it's taking me so long is because when they start, when I'm playing, I try to come up with the answer as quickly into the question as possible. And I had
Scarlett Johansson was
in this question.
For 2 acting
I
nominations.
thought they were going to ask a different question. I thought they were going to go with a much deeper cut question.
Yeah.
Which was which actress is the only person to have been nominated for both Best Actor and Best Actress and Supporting Actress for the same film? The answer to that is Teresa.
All right, multiple choice.
Teresa Wright for Mrs. Miniver.
B. Kate Blanchett.
See, Kate Blanchett's the only one that was in my head too.
Meryl Streep.
I believe it's Meryl Streep.
And to clarify, you're saying the 2007 awards for the 2006 films. So,
PJ, yes. 5, 4, 3.
Can you repeat the options?
Once. A. Julianne Moore. B. Kate Blanchett. C. Emma Thompson. D. Meryl Streep.
So we pause it here. If we pause it here real quick. Okay, good. So I've already eliminated Julianne Moore because I knew Julianne Moore did it in 2002. For the Hours supporting and for forgetting the one with Dennis Quaid. I've been drinking wine. This is why I don't drink when I do the matches. She did that movie with Dennis. She did the movie in Dennis Quaid, Far From Heaven. Sorry, it takes me a little bit longer to get to the answer when I drink. Anyway, so Far From Heaven and The Hours in 2002. So she's eliminated from the list. Emma Thompson's main Oscar trivia is that she won actress and screenplay. She was nominated for actress and screenplay for the same film. Did not win both that year. She won actress in '92 for Howard's End, and then screenplay for a film she was also nominated for Best Actress for, which was Sense and Sensibility, directed by Ang Lee in 1995. So it's really between Kate Blanchett and Meryl Streep, and so I'm sitting here trying to remember which movies and which years, and as I was asking that, I did start to realize, oh wait, this was because the problem with saying 2007 films, none of the Best Picture nominees of 2007 were ones that had the nominations that they're looking for here. So this is making this a little bit more difficult. But if we could play. Because you both, one of you said Kate Blanchett, the other said Meryl Streep. One of them is the correct answer, and I've already narrowed it down to that, but I'm trying to remember specifically which before giving my answer. And I will say the correct answer was my initial gut reaction, but I'm glad that I took the time to make sure that I had the correct answer, because if I'd given the incorrect answer, you give Witney a chance for 2 points still. You definitely don't want to do that. And play.
Kate Blanchett.
It's correct for 1 point.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the other one I was thinking, because Kate Blanchett's one was that.
She for Elizabeth the Golden Age and for I'm Not There.
Robin Williams, his only Oscar win.
Pause. Sorry.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon.
Good Will Hunting?
Yes.
There you go, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
I was just pausing to allow you guys, give you guys time to answer. Hit play.
Work under pressure. Yeah, this is why we would make a really great team and why we want to do teams more so than singles, because that little teamwork right there would have gotten the answer pretty quick.
Yeah, all I saw was Robin Williams in '97. I was like, got it. I just couldn't pull the name.
Well, also, it's like it's the only film Robin Williams. What's the only? All you have to say Robin Williams won an Oscar for. It's the only film he's won an Oscar for.
True.
Yeah. All right, play.
That would be Good Will Hunting.
That is correct. And finally,
I mean, it's not Bicentennial Man. I love that movie.
Fourth.
Now the sequel, Good Will Hunting 2, Hunting Season.
I get that reference.
Of 6 Oscars, but lost
Applesauce.
everyone to what Best Picture winner?
Yeah, pause. See, give you guys a chance.
Wait. Steven Spielberg's Empire of the Sun was nominated for a total of 6 Oscars, but lost everyone to what Best Picture winner? What?
So this is a tricky question because this is actually a movie release date question masquerading as an Oscar question. Because in the end, because the question is really what year did Empire of the Sun come out?
Yeah.
And then what won the Oscars that year? So any guesses?
Empire of the Sun.
I have none. What was that?
Problem is like he's saying is it is a movie release date, and I'm not certain on when Empire of the Sun came out.
Yeah, I can't remember when it came out either.
So I'm trying to, because of that, I'm trying to think of a broad range of what could potentially be like Oscar winners for Best Picture.
Yeah. And not just picture them, but like Best Picture winners that also won 5 other Oscars.
Oh yeah. Which
I mean,
this has got to be a darn good Oscar, a darn good movie.
So if I were to go off that, then like the first one that pops in my head would be like Return of the King.
No,
because I don't remember when Empire of the Sun was. If that was like in early 2000s or if it was before.
Empire of the Sun was some. I'm gonna get hovering late 80s, early 90s ish. Empire of the Sun was one of Christian Bale's first movies. He was a little kid in it.
Christian Bale was a child in it, so definitely not 2003.
Yeah. Around that time, what was that amazing of a movie that it won that many Oscars at that time?
Late 80s.
Would it help? Would it help if I gave you the year?
Yes.
1987.
Okay. No, it would not help if you give me the year.
Hold on, let's find out. Give me the year.
I was waiting for you. I was hoping it was going to be something that was going to be amazing, like 1991. I would be like Silence of the Lambs, but no.
Star Wars.
Yeah, 1977. No.
I won it a decade later.
The downside about this is a movie that's that awesome that wins that many Oscars is probably one that I am very aware of, and I'm gonna be like, I just can't think of it at that moment.
Yeah. So here's what I'll say to give you a hint. This was one of those thematically very similar films.
To Empire of the Sun?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to pull it.
I know. Let's go ahead and play it.
I'm going to play.
The Last Emperor.
That's correct for 2 points.
Wow.
Fights
very similar in title, too.
There.
And exactly.
14-7. Great round by the Barbarian.
I think did all the viewers leave? I feel like the viewers all left.
All right, we're going to remove the Barbarian here, and now we bring back Ken. Ken, you get 60 seconds to talk to Witney starting now.
First of all, Witney, I just want to pay my respects to you for properly writing chips down with the actual way it looked on the show that I grew up watching weekly. A lot of respect there. All right, breath. Take a breath, even if you know the right answer. Multiple choice. Don't be afraid to go there for strategy. And don't be afraid to use one of those JTs. You have all 3 left. Barbarian did a very good job. I think he stalled for time. He asked for the emotional meaning behind the words and the question. It was really good, but he got it done.
It wasn't the emotional. I was asking for which year they were asking about. Because, again, I will say it's very tricky. Is someone that studied Oscar trivia for a long time.
Here's the wheel.
Sometimes, if the question is what 1987 film won Best Picture, it's different than what film won Best Picture in 1987. Because the 1987 film is The Last Emperor. But what film won Best Picture in 1987 means the Oscar ceremony that happened in 1987. That was Platoon. So that's why asked for clarification on
familiar
that.
with DiCaprio. Feel like I can do better though.
I think take a shot. It's a good wheel. It's a good wheel.
Can I say this real quick?
Barbarian proving.
I support that.
All
What?
I'd like to spin again, please.
All right, here's the spin. Final spin
Nobody
here for Whitney.
can,
Whatever
there's
he gets.
nobody
here's
can
gotta
do
take.
better than Leonardo
And
DiCaprio.
we're-
Leonardo DiCaprio is a goddamn.
I
Shit.
love that Meryl
I'm
Streep.
gonna stop trying to
Slice.
not
I just
curse.
saw the Mel Brooks slice.
Leonardo DiCaprio is a national treasure. That's what I
Spy
was
film.
Spy.
Spy.
Ugh.
All right. Well, we're gonna
Spy films.
drop Ken out of here, and we are going to bring back the Barbarian. This is going to be 4 questions, Mark, in the realm of spy film.
Yeah, someone spins
That
Leo.
is
I'm like, ask a
correct,
question from
Whitney.
Catch Me If You
Your
Can.
First, second,
Yeah.
third, and fourth question. They're all worth 2 points. If you need multiple choice, value of the question goes down
I
to
love that
1.
movie.
And your first.
I actually haven't
query
watched that in a while. I need to
for
watch that again.
Spy movies.
That's a movie I could probably watch
Rowan
like every
Atkinson
year.
Plays the title character in what spy spoof
franchise?
Yes.
Johnny English.
Johnny English.
Yeah.
And he is so brilliantly.
I'm like
played in those
Mr.
movies.
Bean,
2
but
points for
it's
Whitney.
not Mr. Bean.
That is correct.
He
All right,
did
next
also
question.
star in Mr. Bean.
All right, Whitney, to climb to 2 points closer to the Barbarian's lead. Who stars
Zazu.
alongside Jennifer Lawrence as CIA operative Nate
Uh,
Nash in the film Red
In
Sparrow?
the film Black Widow.
Red Sparrow. Was that Chris Pine?
May I please have a multiple choice?
Oh, I'll get it on this.
Is it A. Joel
Edgerton. Yes.
B. Jeremy Irons, C. Sebastian Stan, or D.
Just get Joel Edgerton and Chris Pine mixed up.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Sebastian Stan.
That is incorrect. So, Barbarian, I'm going to give you the question and the options once again. Who stars alongside Jennifer Lawrence as CIA operative Nate Nash in the film Red Sparrow? Is it A. Joel Edgerton, B. Jeremy Irons, C.
Not that
Sebastian
good of a
Stan,
movie.
or D. Jeremy Renner?
Is it Joel Edgerton?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Then it is correct for a point. That's a big, big steal. Barbarian gets the 15 points.
15-9. Whitney needs some more points here on the board if he wants to be able to.
Yeah, this
hang
is
one
not
round
the,
number 3. Here it is. The next
All right,
question.
good news
This
for
is
all
not
the
where you wanna
Seibold
be
fans. His penultimate
in this
question for
match.
2 points, and that
Like
clears
either
the
one of
board.
y'all
Spy
don't want to
movies
be
is
that far behind the other one
who
at this
played
point.
Napoleon Solo, a professional
Oh.
thief turned CIA agent in
Oh, Henry Cavill.
2015's The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I love that movie.
I was
Who
like, I know
directed
you'll.
Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Oh shoot!
Henry Cavill.
2 points go to Whitney.
Dang, why you do that to me?
It was,
15-11.
he did Aladdin.
This next question.
Oh,
He did
yeah.
Aladdin.
15-13.
Duh. It's
or
He did
15-12.
Aladdin.
If not,
And the gentleman,
Yeah.
Richie.
point
Guy
deficit
Ritchie,
going
yes.
into
There you
the
go.
next
Guy
round.
Ritchie.
Here it is.
You guys make a great
knew
team.
that.
Final question.
I knew
World of
that.
Spy movies. And the last question of round number 2. Mads Mikkelsen plays Le Chiffre in Casino Royale.
Oh,
Who played that character in the 1967 comedy version?
I barely remember who plays James Bond in that.
Yeah, I can't pull that
Peter
one.
Lorre.
That is incorrect. So, for 2 points and a giant steal, Barbarian,
Ooh.
Mads Mikkelsen plays Le Chiffre in Casino
That's a good
Royale.
question.
But who played that character in the 1967 comedy version?
Was it Peter Sellers?
It was not. Looking for Ripple Wine spokesperson Orson Welles.
Oh,
So
Really?
pause briefly.
With that, Whitney Seibold.
One thing I'll say in terms of that guess there. So first off, it's the nice thing about getting a 2 point steal opportunity is that it's worth more. But the downside is, I wish I would have had a 2 point steal opportunity on Red Sparrow, because Joel Edgerton was the first name that came to my mind as soon as they asked that question. Even though I haven't seen the film yet, I will see it soon. Actually, I purchased the film and haven't watched it yet, but I will watch it shortly.
well, my bias of that movie, please don't let it sway you.
No, look! I have to watch a lot of movies. I mean, for the Schmoedown, the last couple of months I've bought about 400 new Blu-rays. So it's
Jennifer Lawrence was good in that movie.
I love Jennifer Lawrence. But this one, so it's like, I've got to try to make an educated guess. Okay, Casino Royale, the comedic version of it, and he guessed Peter Lorre and seemed pretty confident in it, and so for me it's like, okay, if he thought Peter Lorre was confident in it, and I'm thinking, maybe he got the last name confused with Peter Sellers, who, a comedic actor who was very active in this time. Now, while I was incorrect, Peter Sellers was one of the actors who played James Bond in the film. So I did give an answer of an actor in the film, just not the one they were looking for.
It's a good thought process, though. I like that. That's a great way to try to reason yourself to an answer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Stacey Howard is the best in the game at deductive reasoning, and I like to use her as is kind of a motivator in terms of just like when I have a question that I don't know the answer to, find ways to figure out what the answer could be, and oftentimes it works. This was not one of those times, but oftentimes it is.
It could have been. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I said, I did name an actor who played James Bond in the film. I haven't seen the film, but apparently there's like 5 or 6 people credited as James Bond. I'm a little confused. I need to watch the movie, I guess.
That might be why I sometimes have a hard time trying to actually nail down who plays James Bond in there. I always thought it was like
the main one's David Niven. Yeah, Niven's like the main James Bond in it, but I'm not sure. But like, if you look, it's like Peter Sellers as James Bonds. I don't know why. I'll watch it eventually. I bought the James Bond set of all the James Bond films. This was not included in it, so I'll have to find some other way to watch this.
Because it's not an official James Bond movie.
Exactly. It's not one of the 24 James Bond films.
It was the some kind of colored stepchild that I'm not going to say the name of the color because I don't want to offend those people. But those
redheaded
ginger. It was a ginger stepchild.
The redheaded stepchild of the James Bond movies.
It's okay. I have a redheaded friend. I can say that.
Oh well, by all means.
I don't know. I have a hard time telling all the redheaded people apart.
Wow.
Himself
and
4 points going in.
And there goes the channel.
Third round.
And let's
go. But we get into the third round mark. How does it go?
In round number 3, this is the round that will determine the match, gentlemen, unless we go to sudden death overtime. The winner advances.
4 points up going into round 3 is pretty good.
There, we need some numbers from each of you.
That's a good lead there.
These numbers can range from 1 to 20. You may not use
you still want to hit
opponent. These numbers correspond
to
individual category of movie.
Yeah, it's good, but at the same time,
your first point,
if your opponent hits all 3, you have to answer a 5-point question in order to win. And 5-point questions, look, I know a lot of information, but the 5-pointers sometimes are gettable and sometimes they're not. Sometimes like in that title match between Bateman and Merle, sometimes the question is like, who plays the 15th lead in a movie this category director produced?
15 for my current score.
Yeah.
And then I'm drawing strength from Red Sonja, and her birthday's this month, August 22nd. So I will go 8 and 2.
Awesome. 8 and 2.
That's awesome.
And much love. Next 3 numbers here from Whitney.
1.
Yes.
2.
2
it's like he's not even listening. Sorry.
He chose 8 and 2. So you have all right, 1, 3, and
5.
Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Right, so
I wonder if they ever do that like on purpose though.
8. No. He like if you look at it, he was confused. He I think he in his mind wanted to go 1, 2, and 3.
Bobby,
no, seeing the way he does.
Barbarian starting now.
He was stuck on his own numbers.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We need to get you out of Nerd Chronics real quick.
Exactly. Thank you.
I think it's the only time this match that they reference the fact that I'm at Nerd Chronics place.
I think we're
So does he only pops it up when they say his name?
Put that out of your brain. You got 3 JTs.
Pretty much. Yeah, the edited by Nerd Chronic that only pops up when they mention him.
It looks like
All right. You know what?
Where did it pop up there?
Yeah.
Wait, where did it pop up? I didn't see it.
Right after he said that you're at Nerd Chronics, and then it popped up.
Wait, can you remind me? I missed that. Where was that?
Yes, sir.
And Whitney has chosen 1, 3, and 5. All right. So because Barbarian will be
pause it when it pops up because I missed it both times I've watched this now.
Here to talk to Barbarian starting.
Let's take it on, Papa. You know what to do?
Yes, sir.
We need to get you out of Nerd Chronics real quick.
There it is. Sorry. Like during the match, that didn't come up, of course. So well played, Eric. Well played.
He knows what he's doing with that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right, and Ken Knapsack, 60 seconds starting now.
We're
chronic.
Chief question. Put that out of your brain. You got 3 JTs left. We got everything.
That was good because I actually had to clear my throat there.
Let's not pay attention to Tom, who looks like.
All right. You know what? I got the question right. It was just the 1950s TV James Bond movie where Peter Lorre played Lashif. I mixed him up a little bit. I'm still confident.
That's fair. We got it. We got it. Get to it.
All right. So after that, we will now drop out the managers here. The competitors are ready. Witney Seibold will be going first to try to avoid the TKO. Witney, you chose category number 1. Category number 1. And that would be new releases. New releases.
Okay.
All right. New releases is anything from
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Months.
The last 18 months, but not the last 6
It's not a
months.
lot this year, is it?
Not really. Here we go. Okay.
I'm all caught up on new releases now, though.
Yeah. Right.
2019 horror film.
It Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, yeah.
Yeah, you don't say just it, because none of these. Only one of these is in it.
It Chapter 2.
That's correct for 2 points.
That's a big answer, Christian, because now he can get this 3-pointer and avoid the TK, as opposed to if he missed it, he would have had to have hit that big 5-pointer.
That's right. Well, now
he just kind of John Madden it there a little bit.
Action adventure.
If he gets the points, he's going to win the game.
Action adventure. And here is the.
Well, I mean,
which actor plays the character of Murdoch in 2010's The
Charlton Copley.
Yes.
Here's the real question: which Star Trek actor played Murdoch in the TV series?
Yes, I know who it is. Dwight. What's his name?
Reginald
Schultz.
Barkley. There you go.
Yep.
Dwight Schultz. There you go.
The 18 movie is like a guilty pleasure for me. I know it gets a lot of flack, but I do enjoy it.
It was terrible.
4.
I think it was terrible. I just thought it was middling.
Looking for Charlton Copley.
It's a nice mindless movie.
All right, so
yeah, it was fine. Like, it wasn't a bad movie. It just didn't
bounces back to The Barbarian. A Barbarian's got answers.
It didn't excite me. It was it was fine.
Barbarian and the Finstock Exchange will
Like,
pick up.
I could watch it again. Sure.
Yeah.
Witney chose category 5. That would be the.
It's one of those you just throw on and not pay attention to.
Yeah. So afterwards, it's like, well, that was a movie.
Here it is. In what 1960s film will you find Shirley MacLaine's character Fran as an elevator operator at an office building?
Can we pause this real quick?
Is Billy Wilder's The Apartment?
Yeah.
That is
So I was
correct.
trying to pause it. All right, so we pause it briefly here.
Finds himself now with a 3-point.
So I was really excited when they announced that his 5-pointer would be romantic comedies. I was really excited that I might get a TKO because, having studied Seibold, I know that rom-coms is probably his weakest category. And the fact that he was given a 5-pointer rom-com, I was thinking, okay, there's no, like, in the past, whenever he's been given rom-com questions, he just gives joke answers because he doesn't even, he's nowhere close to it. However, this rom-com question was actually a classics question masquerading as a rom-com question, and of course Witney knows a 5-pointer classic question. As soon as I asked the question, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to answer some questions now because because he clearly knows this answer. Let's see how this happens. Let's see how the match ends now.
Point lead.
Because you got to answer at least 2 questions now.
And now
I have to answer at least 2 questions now.
Barbarian has to answer some questions here, Mark.
He does, and that's the key word there.
Well, technically, I just need a 3-pointer to force him to time.
Then build upon that and win with
Or,
the 3-pointer potential.
Or the 5.
that 2-pointer, he's going to have to answer a 5-pointer if he wants to win in regulation. So,
I'm just gonna let Mark say it from now on. I'm just not even gonna try. He usually has pretty well.
You selected category 15 for your 2-point question, and that corresponds to a category that, ironically, I believe you spun away from in round 2: Scorsese movies.
For a 2-pointer.
And your question:
Not bad.
In the world of Marty Scorsese, for 2 points, who received a Best Supporting Actor nomination?
Oh gosh, but there's like 1,000 people in that movie.
In The Departed.
Yeah.
You want to hit pause real quick and give your guesses?
Matt Damon.
Who was the lead of that movie?
We need to narrow down who was the lead and who was the supporting, and then we can go from there. Because I can see the actors in it.
Yeah, I think.
Now, what's interesting in this is that despite the fact that The Departed won Best Picture and Best Director, it only received 1 acting nomination across all categories.
It was the Best Supporting. It was Jack Nicholson.
So we got a guess Jack Nicholson. What's the other guess there, Chris?
I'd have to say the same. I think Jack Nicholson's the one that makes the most sense to me too.
And I'll point out real quick. This is a 2-pointer, and Scorsese, and I feel like this is one of the harder 2-pointers I've heard because spoiler alert, you both got it wrong. And just
Or it's either Jack Nicholson or Mark Wahlberg.
That would be correct. And Christian, The Barbarian.
It was Mark Wahlberg. I just said Mark Wahlberg.
Yep.
So now, if the Barbarian hits his 3-pointer,
but I felt like and look, it's subjective in terms of the quibbling about what should be what level of points and whatnot. Like to me, that felt more like a 3-pointer than a 2-pointer.
Yeah.
In order to win the game,
but I still got it. I still got it right, but it's like in the hearing, I was like, wow, that's
3-pointer that could win you. The
I can't really complain about. He got a rom-com question that was a classics question masquerading as a rom-com question. Well, I got an Oscars question masquerading as a Scorsese question.
Films and the trivia question therein of Quentin Tarantino. And your question.
Ooh.
3 points and the win. Barbarian, Elvis, name 2 Tarantino.
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
Was he in Hateful Eight also?
Reservoir Dogs and The Hateful Eight.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Got it.
Good job.
He played the role of Christoph Waltz in The Hateful Eight.
The Barbarian does and defeats a very good here, Witney Seibold. Phenomenal. Witney going to put you in the waiting room, but hell of a match there, Witney. Witney fighting back and
you did that move in front of a green screen. Do you know what I can do with that?
That's not that.
I'm waiting to find out. I'm waiting to find out what you can do with that, Robert. Show me.
Ooh.
So how do you
buddy.
those 3 points? And it's a battle between you.
I'm gonna have to go do a beer run. This is gonna be a great night, gentlemen.
He's gonna make you cock a gun.
Barbarian he was there to play as well. Some unfortunate missteps by him.
Phrasing.
Game. Ken coached him well. I thought he played really, really well. But the story is here, as it always is, the Barbarian. Look at him here. He's coming off about 6 to 8 weeks of training of IG to jump right back into regular movie trivia and put up a performance like this. I don't think a lot of people can do it.
I need to remind myself which side of the bracket you're on.
It's going to be a really tough road to the championship here.
I just need to leave that bracket image open whenever we do these so I can see it.
Yeah,
right.
Aaron, just want to get a window into the competitor's mind. Your manager so aptly brought up.
There's a potential match up there that I really want to see with you.
Geekdom now.
Yeah.
It could potentially be your next matchup that I really want to see.
Ever made and every other movie.
Absolutely no spoilers at all. But do you know your next match?
It's interesting. 2 very different and 2 very difficult games in their own rights. For instance, this movie, this division could have questions about any movie ever. So a movie that I hadn't seen in 23 years, like Copland, that I hadn't studied, could come up. Whereas in the Inner Geekdom, there are only 214 films. So, it's just about knowing the minutia of those. But Elvis and I, we've had our hearts and our minds dedicated to winning this tournament and winning this season for the Finstock Exchange.
Well, in order to do that, obviously it's a great match here today. You looked as good as always, but in order to do that, you got to play here the winner of Bibiani and James White.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got James White, who's a highly touted rookie, won his play-in match to get to Bibiani, and Bibiani being former champion. How do you feel, and do you have a preference on who you would play out of those two?
As the great Ric Flair says, if you want to be the man, you've got to beat the man. And William the Beast Bibiani is one of the greatest players ever to play this game.
That's a tournament
Elvis
finals.
Would love to have our legacy enshrined upon defeating not just one, but both halves of Critically Acclaimed on the way to our first tournament championship.
Well, you certainly have an option to do that.
I would pay money to see that match.
Right. Any other words here, Gooch? Because, like I said,
just to watch Barbarian, you're like, how much money would you pay?
I mean,
exactly.
If you were to throw out a dollar amount, what would it look like?
I'm not going to. That match has not aired yet. The match of Bibiani versus James White.
Yeah,
I did not know what the outcome was going to be when they asked me this year. So I of course have since learned the outcome of that match. So I know who wins that. But I can't reveal that publicly here because the match is not aired.
Absolutely.
And
wants the Finstock Exchange to win, and we know that. But pressure bust pipes.
Yeah, no, I never want the actual result of a match spoiled. Just the do you know who to prepare for kind of a thing.
All right, thank you guys so much. Congratulations to the Barbarian. Congratulations to Bobby Gucci and the Finstock Exchange as they advance to the next round. All right, bringing in now from the Drews, the manager, Ken Napsok, and Witney Seibold, who I think played a phenomenal game here, Ken. It was, just sometimes you get those questions.
Is that Christian just trying to talk him into keep going, keep playing matches?
Yeah. I mean, if we pause this real quick, though. So, I mean, if you look at the game that Witney just played, he missed 4 questions total. 2 of them I also missed. We both missed the Mangold question. We both missed his in the spy movies. We both missed the Le Chiffre question. I was able to get that very valuable Red Sparrow steal, and I knew Charlton Copley, but he, clearly did. So it's, so it's not like he played a poor game. He played a very good game. He got 18 points in a loss. Some people don't get 18 points in a win. So he's clearly super talented, and I don't know how much he actually studies. It's not something I've discussed with him, but even if he doesn't study, just through his innate knowledge of films and just professionally and just entertainment wise, he is always just a dangerous threat. And I don't think really what If Christian doesn't need to build him up in terms of like, hey, you're actually good at this, keep playing. Christian needs to apologize for putting him against me in the first round and putting him against the kid. No, but I'm just like, somebody with Witney's pedigree shouldn't be put up against, and I was the higher ranked competitor in this, and that was, my first, I had coming into this match, I had a 100% accuracy rate in singles. So, the fact that he got put up against me, and again, it's not about me tooting my own horn, but if you're somebody like Witney, you're getting a rookie. It's like, yeah, a rookie who's never missed a question in the singles division. It's unfair to him that he didn't get an easier first round match. That is there are several people there. I feel like he could have beat more than half of the people that played in the first round.
Yeah.
I just wasn't one of those people that he could have beat.
You're talking about like his level of ability to play, his gameplay at this point, he deserves to be in a position that it should be. The road to winning that first match should be a little bit easier for him than going up against. Essentially saying he should be the favored going into his first match at this point.
I mean, well, it's impossible for him to be the favorite in a match because he's in singles. He is 0-2, was 0-2, and now he's 0-3. So, in order for him to be the favorite, he'd have to go against someone that's like 0-6. So that's not going to happen. But
more so from like a theoretical standpoint than how the actual like record shows.
Yeah, but I'm like and again, this isn't against Christian because like putting together a tournament like this, like there are very few easy outs in this tournament. Especially like, and those easy outs are all in like the first round. And once you get past the first round of the tournament, it's all that just shows you how far this league has come. Like there's just such a deep level of strong competitors that you put together a 36-person tournament, and once you get down to the Sweet 16, it's just a murderer's row. So I feel like Witney could have been part of that murderer's row. I was like, when I heard I had to face him in the first round, it wasn't like well, shoot, I've never had a match where I said, oh, this will be easy. Because if you look at my Inner Geekdom matches, first round I had Adam Lavick, who prior to that tournament was the number 5 ranked player in Inner Geekdom, and 2 people ahead of him in the rankings weren't in the tournament. So he was the 3rd highest ranked player in that tournament, and I had to face him in my first match. And so it's like there's I've never had a match where I went and saying it's like, oh, this will be easy. Clee Wiggins, she and I were drafted back to back, and that was something where to talk a little bit more about that story. If it's like we haven't reached the 2-hour mark yet. When I was approached about my first match, I got a text the day before during my lunch break saying, "Hey, would you be able to play tomorrow if Bonnie Somerville doesn't show up?" My thought was, wait, I would get to play Brett Sheridan if Bonnie doesn't show up? Yes. Yes. and I was like, oh yeah, no, definitely. And then I get the email and they're like, all right, Bonnie versus Brett, alternate if Bonnie can't make it, it'll be Craig versus Clee. I was like, wait, that's not Brett Sheridan. So I was nervous facing Clee because I'd heard that she was super smart and I'd heard that she knew a lot about movies. I heard she was she and I were being pushed the same level before the draft. We were both being given elite rookie status before the draft, and it's unfortunate for her that she hasn't had a chance to play a second match yet since our first match because. I know it's been several months since then, people have seen, but she had a really strong first performance. She, didn't get any of her 3rd round questions correct, but her third round had a couple really hard questions in it, and Clee is someone that I feel like could, can go far in this league and will go far. And so again, my match against Clee, I knew that wasn't going to be easy. My match against Lavick, I knew that wasn't going to be easy. My match against John Humphreys, he beat Janine. I was, going into that, I was like, oh, Humphreys is a rookie versus Janine. So I assumed I'd be facing Janine. When I heard that Humphrey beat her, I was like, well, this isn't going to be easy. And then clearly my match against Chance wasn't going to be easy. And this match against Witney wasn't going to be easy. And my next match after this, I either have to play William freaking Bibiani or James White. And if I play James White, it'll be because he was able to beat William freaking Bibiani.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well.
Yeah. So it's like, give me, throw me a freaking bone here. Can I get a Brett Sheridan? No offense, Brett, if you're watching. Yeah. Point is, Witney is fantastic, and he's had the misfortune of going against stellar rookies. Me and the kid, and then his other singles match was against Diamond Dave Del Rio, which is funny. As I was prepping for this match, I watched Whitney's match against Diamond Dave Del Rio. And then I was watching Pitch Perfect. It's like, wait, there's Diamond Dave Del Rio also. So Diamond Dave just kept popping up while I was studying for this match. But yeah, anyway, I've been talking a lot and I've been drinking a lot of wine. So there you go. I didn't have a match today, so that's why I'm drinking.
There you go. I mean, that's the thing. At the end of the day, like, somebody's got to win every single one of their matches in this tournament, because that's how it works. That's
how tournaments work.
That's how tournaments work.
Well, people were giving Sabrina crap about losing to Vinny Mancuso, and it's like, first off, Vinny played incredibly well in that match. Sabrina also played really well in that match. She had a rough first round, and look, I have done a lot of training with Sabrina, and I've done a lot of just talking to her about movies in general. She is super whip smart, and even some of the ones that she got wrong, some of the questions that she got wrong in her first round, she got wrong because she was overthinking them. Like the spies in disguise question, she got wrong. She was like, "Oh, this is like the way they phrase it." She's like, "Oh, this isn't the obvious answer of Will Smith. This is a different actor. I don't know who else is in this movie." She knew Will Smith co-starred in that film. She knew Will Smith starred in that film, but the way she asked the question, she thought they were looking for Ben Mendelsohn, who is the villain in it. I actually just watched Spies in Disguise yesterday for the first time, which was it was a good time. It was funny. It was charming. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend watching Spies in Disguise. It's on demand in my hotel room here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, looking at that situation, if you were to dominate this tournament, if you were to go all the way through, you are. I mean, that is I'm not talking from a standpoint of, hey, let's put a hex over this whole thing, let's jinx it or whatever. But that is rookie of the year right there. I mean, the previous years rookie of the year. I've become friends with other people in the league, including one Mr. Paul Yam, and I've talked about the fact that he won the title his rookie year and didn't get rookie of the year shows that sometimes you have even if you do a ton, you can't win because someone else does just that much better. So it's there's only so much you can control. All I can control is what I know and how I perform, and I always try to do those to the best of my ability.
All right, give me 1 second, guys.
No.
Anyway, let me
put.
I guess we wait for him to come back, but
we want to watch the rest of this? Do we need to watch the rest of this?
Yeah, I mean,
all right. No, I don't know. I've never seen. I don't know how you guys do. All right, it's okay. Sorry. I love Ken. I love Ken. I love Whitney. So let's hear it. Let's hear what they have to say.
Let's roll on, and we can chat a little bit more also on the back end of this. So.
Yeah, of course.
I'm very proud to have Witney Seibold on this team. Either 2010s, 18.
I love that everybody who wears sunglasses that you can
it's one of those things.
You can see
the reflection.
The important questions to give him credit.
You said for Gucci, it's always a matter of whenever you see his reflection, it looks like his eyes in the.
I couldn't be more proud of him.
He's got white pupils or whatever in the sunglasses.
Yeah. And no disrespect to the Barbarian. We love the Barbarian. That guy's got a great heart. I respect any man who could publicly stroke his own fur. I just love what's going on over there. Gucci, he looks like he's going to a goth.
I mean, it's a talent.
What are you gonna do?
Oh man, that's why you gotta love Ken
as well.
Ken Knapsack's a goddamn jerk. Why is this family friendly? Ken Knapsack's a treasure.
Associated with him here in the
Oh, look, you scared him off.
Certainly have the admiration of not only your manager but fans around the world.
At least I keep remembering that it's family friendly while I'm in the middle of cursing.
Lord knows when the last time he showered, and when he did, it was probably
nobody knows the last time I showered.
Creek. And you are all dressed up, you're prim, you're proper. Any thought to maybe changing how you approach the Schmoedown, and by proxy changing your look? Maybe we'll see you next season with barely a sleeveless T-shirt and long hair adorning your shoulders.
Long hair, the man's lost his senses. No, I think I'm going to remain clean. What I really need to work on is remembering details about films that I hate. You asked me about the 2018 film, that wasn't a film I liked very much. As such, I kind of put it out of my head, and, well, maybe that was my mistake. Also, perhaps I should have stuck with Leonardo DiCaprio. I know his filmography okay, but spy films are a little bit of a weakness of mine, and I'm proud to do it as well as I did in that category.
Well, let me ask you this.
Whitney is a fascinating person. He really is.
I don't
like super
assume
well
him. I
spoken
haven't
too.
Spoken to Ken about this
Like,
yet, but there is
he's just
one more opportunity here for I think both you
a
and
really
Alonzo
fascinating
with this
guy.
team's tournament. So I
Yeah.
guess this is a double
He's
question
fantastic.
for both Whitney and Ken. The first,
He's funny. I love his dry wit.
the
It's
nod
really
here from
high
Ken
intelligence,
Nepcock with
dry
yourself
wit.
and
It's
Whitney
fantastic.
to represent the Droogs in the tournament. Is it going to be the same type of prep with Alonzo, or will there be something different going into it?
Well, I do happen
Kill
to
it.
have in my possession
It is.
the 1982 Genus edition of Trivial Pursuit.
This was a
It has
$200
lot of
bottle of
very
wine, so I'm
pertinent
making
film
sure it gets
information.
you drink
You'd
before
be
I leave Las Vegas.
surprised at how much you can be
Yeah,
reminded.
look, this is what
of
happens when you live in
playing that
Gucci
game.
first, you know, when you live in the
We can
physical
play that.
exchange,
We can
Gucci hooks
prepare.
you up.
We can remind each other just what we know.
Guess so. We need to talk to
Fair enough,
Gucci some
Ken,
more. Apparently,
same thing. So was
Seriously.
now obviously with Jader being the last left in the Droogs for the
I'm not
singles
slumming it over
tournament
here
and
in
the
Bud
teams
Light
tournament
land, but I
kind of
mean,
being
could use
around
the
corner
step up.
here, is the decision already made? Does Deep 13 get the call, or you got to do some thinking before you make your call?
I don't need to make any. I don't need to have any deliberations or anything in my mind, Christian. Deep 13, I'd be happy to have them represent this team. We'll play that Trivial Pursuit game. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions about Kramer versus Kramer, and we'll be ready to go for anything that you throw at us in the team's tournament.
Well, there you go. Hot scoop there, Mark. Deep 13 going to be representing the Droogs in the team's tournament when that happens.
I mean,
All right. Well,
yeah,
guys,
I'd-
thank you. Listen, both Ken
I would.
and Whitney, hell of a
I'd
match
pick
here
Deep
today
13
from
also.
both of you guys, and we will see you on the next one. All right, so Ken
Great
and
team.
Witney Seibold. Obviously,
Yeah,
Whitney
they're a
having
great team.
it's the same type of thing. He just has that match, a really good match. You can tell how much the guy knows. It's just a certain he just there's those little stumbles, but that 5-pointer, he knew it like no problem. And I'm telling you, I think next season it could be the teams, but I think next season we're going to see a big run from Witney Seibold.
Yeah, I'm going to throw some names at you, Christian. How about Isaiah Thomas? How about Michael Jordan? Those are two other
Who are those people?
athletes like Whitney Seibold, who
Sports
kept
folks.
giving it their
Michael B.
best
Jordan?
all, and
I
it
liked
just
him in Black
kept
Panther.
coming up short against the
And
current
Creed.
reigning defenders of
R.I.P.
championships in the
R.I.P.
NBA. And I think Whitney Seibold has the feeling
Yeah,
he's in a similar position.
Black Panther's still on my
You
mind
keep throwing
because
the
of
best
that.
game, and you can compete with the best in the business, but you just haven't
Yeah, I gotta
quite
follow
gotten
that.
over
I
the
gotta
hump.
follow
When he
that.
does, I don't know that he's going to relinquish that new standing on top of the mountain anytime soon, because this guy, whenever he suits up, Christian, and I do mean suit up, he's out for blood.
Well, it is the Barbarian that strikes first blood here. And moving on to the next round, Finstock Exchange picking up a big 3 points. And we now are going to have so many new matches right around the corner. Listen to what we have coming up for you guys. Mark Yodi Riley, the Finstock Exchange, does it again as they're going
It's gonna be a good one.
to fight off the
Yeah.
dungeon and video
That's tomorrow.
Drew. That happens tomorrow.
I'm
Will the
torn
two-time
as you know.
champion
Look,
get
as
upset
you
like
know,
he did last year in the
I'm
first
personal
round?
friends
Find
with
out
both
tomorrow.
of these folks.
Join
You
the
know,
$10 Patreon.
Mark Riley's my family. The Finstock Exchange. You know, we are a very
Mark
close
Christian's
knit
talking
group.
about the Patreon. Hello
And
to all of our
Video
patrons
Drew,
out
you
there.
know,
If you've not yet checked out the
I probably spend more time virtually with her than any other Schmoedown competitor, between the video chronic quizzes or the karaoke we do on Fridays, and
I would say
borrowed her internet for this match.
I think I would roughly say the same.
$10 patrons.
That being said, if you want to take a guess as to who's going to be on the replay tomorrow night,
matches that we've been doing, all the big pay-per-view matches.
is
So
it going to be Video Drew?
You can get
it will probably be Video Drew.
just that live element. There's something about the
I'm
Schmoedown
assuming
live.
TC Donna saying that this is the best episode yet of your show, to which I will say, I agree. Cheers.
Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to Witney Seibold.
Thank you,
to
TC
the Barbarian, and thank you to Mark Ellis, as we will see you tomorrow.
There we go.
Yeah. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
well played.
I appreciate it. Thank you. One thing I knew about the Schmoedown. So the fact that Skybound and Schmoedown came together in this year is one of the few positive things about 2020.
Yeah, that would be like for me if like
true.
the Shawshank Redemption came together with like Sirloin Stockade or Golden Corral. I'd be like in heaven if those two would partner up.
Exactly.
What?
The same thing. It's the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So coming off of this, so we've already you've pretty much answered all the questions that I think I would have like post match. Is how does it feel like going up against either like say James White or Bibiani? Okay, well that's going to be daunting no matter what.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's either Bibiani or James White who just beat Bibiani. So either way, it's tough. It was like when I faced, in my Inner Geekdom match, I knew I was either going to have to face Robert Parker or Chance Ellison if he could get past Robert Parker. So when I had to face Chance, it wasn't like, okay, well, this will be easy. It was like, no, Chance just beat Robert Parker. So it's clearly going to be tough. I mean, honestly, in this tournament, what I really hope for most of this tournament is to have Barbarian versus Ellison 2. I hope that we get this later in the tournament. That's all I will say.
So that being said, here's a quick question, and feel free to say that you don't want to answer it. If you don't, that's cool. How do you, if you were to go up against Chance again, which I think y'all are actually on like, well, I mean, okay, it still could potentially happen. If you go up against Chance again, how do you feel you are in general movie knowledge compared to IG?
I think that he had a slight advantage on me in IG, and part of that was he's been in the league for a couple of years now. He'd played in IG before, so he'd been studying IG before. I had a very short amount of time to try to ramp up in IG. By the time next season comes along, I'm going to be a straight murderer in IG. In singles tournament, I went like before the season began, before the draft happened, I watched probably 4 or 5 seasons worth of this show. I was playing along in every match, and I told and this is my assessment of every match afterwards. What I told Bobby Gucci before he drafted me, I told him, look, right now I could compete and beat any champion in this league. That's where my general movie knowledge is. I am as good up. Now, there's clearly a luck component in this game. So while I could beat any of them, they could also beat me depending on how things roll. But I told him, look, I can, like, today, the day of the draft, like, look, today I could beat anyone in this league in general trivia. In Inner Geekdom, I can get there. I just need time to study. And that's how I feel. I think that against Chance, I think that my singles knowledge is at the I would like to say something cocky like I would definitely beat him, but at the same time it's like, look, this league there's tiers, it's not a ding 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 ding, one person's better than the other. There's tiers. You have your elite tier and then your near elite tier. It's like if you play fantasy sports, it's like drafting in fantasy sports. You got to draft in tiers. And I see myself as having the knowledge and the skills to compete at the elite tier level. Because of my inexperience, I would place myself in the near elite level, and I think that's also where I would put Chances in the near elite level in singles.
Yeah, it's a good place to be right now.
I mean, give me another season to actually study, because most of the study I've done for this is just watch more movies. But if give me another season of studying and getting some matches to prove my gamesmanship, I'll be right up there at the top of the elite tier.
It's one of those, like, it's only a matter of time then that you have to have something on your other shoulder.
Elvis on one, a belt on the other.
I've said this all along. You know, I want all the belts. I want to play. If there's going to be a division in this league, I want to play in it. The only division that I haven't played in teams yet, but it's not like I haven't played in teams because I can't play in teams. Like if you like teams is the easiest division to play in, because you know you can rely on someone else to fill your gaps. You know, you know, the only reason I have not played in teams thus far this year is because of COVID, and because COVID disrupted the season incredibly. Now I haven't played in Star Wars yet either. I am not currently at a level where I could compete at a high level of Star Wars. Now I could be studying to compete there, or I could be studying to compete in IG, which is why I'm studying to compete in IG. Once I've mastered IG, which involves studying Star Wars questions, I will then move on to studying Star Wars to a level where I can compete in the Star Wars as well. There's been talks of possibly entering a horror division as well. I'm very excited for that possibility, and I have been studying my horror films to try to get myself to a level where I could be elite in that division as well, should it arrive. But even if it doesn't appear, it's great to have that knowledge of horror films, because guess what? We get asked questions about horror films in the other divisions. So it's, you know, I just like movies and I like playing trivia. And, you know, you give me a division, you tell me there's a division, you tell me which movies it's going to be about, I'm there.
I feel like pretty confident in this, that now you sound like essentially the second coming of John Rocca, where earlier in his career saying, I want all the belts, all the records. And that's exactly the same kind of like vibe I'm getting from you now.
I mean, look, John Rocca is a good friend of mine. We spent a lot of time studying together, and I think he's one of the greatest players ever to play this game. I put him and Dan Murrell as 1 and 1A in that regard. And to be even compared to that level, even if it's just in the level of cockiness, is an honor.
Yeah. So, real quick, all of this, the way it sounds, and I know it sounds like you're not too big of a fan of referring to Elvis as a pelt. But just humoring just a little bit for like alliteration's sake. This is what I think we're going to. Hashtag belts and pelts. Let's start it right now. Blow that hashtag up. Belts and pelts. That's what it is.
I love it. Hashtag belts and pelts. Thank you. But Elvis is not a pelt, but I feel like we can find a. I love that hashtag, even though Elvis is not a pelt. But we'll find something to replace that with.
Yeah.
Titles and Elvis. That doesn't really work.
Exactly. We'll do like Elvis and no. I'm not gonna say anything that rhymes with Elvis.
Elvis and pelvis. Bring it on, baby. Let's go.
Elvis and belts around the pelvis. That's what it is.
There you go.
And we had to get rid of Robert.
Yeah. After you said I'm not gonna say it, then he goes and says it.
Yep.
Anyways, guys,
he did this to himself. He did this to himself.
You know, it happens a lot. I do a lot of things to myself.
I can tell.
Nope.
It's like 2 sentences in. He's at it again.
Just can't do it. He just can't do it.
He can't help himself. He cannot help himself.
All right. Well, guys, I don't know if whoever's still watching, if anybody has any questions they want to drop in real quick before we wrap it up, drop in some questions there. Otherwise, we might get to some plugs and such.
So, Barbarian, if you would like to plug some stuff on here while we wait for some questions to potentially drop.
So I do not know when the second round match will air. If it has taken place, it may have taken place already. I don't know, but we've not been given a schedule yet to air for that, so I can't plug that. But all I know is that you will see me compete in the second round of this tournament. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at Barbarian Craig. There you go. Thank you much. You can also find me on Twitch most Friday nights, twitch.tv/Mogwai417. Mogwai is in Gremlins, what they are before they become Gremlins.
Gizmo.
Exactly. Gizmo. Anyway, and then I'm also on Facebook. If you're not a weirdo, you can friend me there. And then on Instagram, I'm at C as in Craig, F as in Frank, Gaynier is in my last name, Gaynier, the French word for winning, which is all I do.
Is that really? I feel like I've heard that before. Is that really true?
Yeah, it's a American bastardization of the spelling of it. It's like the root word for my last name is the French for to win. Winning is in my blood. That's that's what I bring to the Finstock Exchange. That's what I bring to the movie trivia Schmoedown.
You're almost in a position then where you could just, if you go by your actual name, you go Craig the winner. Kanye.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a little redundant though. It's a little redundant, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Craig, the winner.
It's more of the winner. So
well, you know how I have to do it in America sometimes. We're dumb out here sometimes. So
we need to be told a couple of times.
We need to be told literally a couple of times.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, doesn't look like we got any questions, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up. This has been a very fun episode. So anyone who's been watching, thank y'all for watching on this. Real quick, we're going to go ahead and drop our plugs. Make sure you follow us at Cinefanatics MLP on Twitter and Instagram. There's also Robert Adams MLP, Chris Adams MLP. Make sure you're following us so we can let you know what's going on this very channel. We have recently dropped our review for New Mutants and Tenet. Both of them are spoiler free. Both of them, especially that Tenet one, was a lot of fun to put together. So if you haven't seen our review for Tenet, check that out because we had a blast with that one.
I'm asking, before we go, real quick, as long as we're on here, I'm curious. What do you guys think of the New Mutants?
It's very okay.
Yeah, you know what? When it reminds me of Robert, say what you were going to say.
My constant thing I say is it's much better than it had any right to be, and it's easily nowhere near the worst of the X-Men movies.
Oh, absolutely. It's a quote I like to use is from a Gin Blossom song, "Hey Jealousy," and I think it applies to this film, which is, if you don't expect too much from me, you might not be let down. And I think this film is one that had such a bad rap for years and years between all the reshoots and whatnot that people thought it was going to be, a flaming hot pile of garbage, and it was pretty good. It was, look. I thought Maisie Williams was fantastic. I thought Charlie Heaton was fantastic, and I thought that Anya Taylor-Joy is always an Anya Taylor-Joy to behold. And I like Alice Boyd. I thought she was fine. And what really surprised me the most was how good the special effects were. And it's clear from this film. It's clear from this film. I was like, their plan was spend as little money on cast as possible and put all the budget into the special effects. And for me, without giving anything away, there were a couple other performances of the film that I was not fond of. I won't say anyone by name or characters by name, but there was, for me, the biggest disappointment of this film is that it was setting up a huge storyline that we will never see come to fruition.
Yes.
And that just makes me sad.
Yeah.
But in terms of as a movie, especially being the first time I got to go to a movie theater since March, and seeing this in IMAX, it was such a good time. It was I loved seeing this in IMAX, if only because it was literally a movie.
Yeah. So,
all right. So I look forward to watching your review. That's my review.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch your review on Tenet as well. I said my words on that earlier, and I want to get this trending on Twitter. # Kenneth Branagh is a tiger.
Yeah. I mean, I actually could kind of see that in Tenet. That was out of ordinary for him. So
yeah, well, he's got that line of dialogue about the tiger.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler. He just mentions he compares himself to a tiger his character compares himself to a tiger in a line of dialogue in the film.
I would say let's be realistic. I think you could say an actual spoiler about this movie and it still wouldn't spoil anything about this movie. I've talked to people about this. I'm like, yeah, so I saw Tenet. They're like, okay, honestly, what's Tenet about? And I'm like, I don't know. Tell you. No clue.
I feel like for his next film, Christopher Nolan will have people just walk into a movie theater and like subject them to ECT and scramble their brains. That's where he goes from here. Like literally just scrambling your brain. That's the only place he can go from here.
Yeah,
it's true.
So continuing on our plugs, on Tuesday nights, make sure y'all come back and watch. It is The Tagline. That is our show where the tagline is the title. We talk about movies, movie news, everything going on in the movieverse. That is Tuesday nights right now. That is at 9 p.m. Central Time, usually 9:30 Central Time, depending on what Schmoedown is doing. So we still have more episodes of Schmoedown that are seemingly coming like at this 4 times a week. So we're going to continue the Schmoedown replay up these 4 times a week while this is going on. So make sure you join us as we go into next week. I know we don't have a full schedule, I guess, out for that yet, but that will be released pretty soon, and we will be continuing on pursuing, pushing along, trucking along, whatever.
I don't know the exact days, but I believe next week's matches are all the winners of the play-in matches playing against the first round.
Yeah, that would make sense because how long it took to get that ready. Yeah. So yeah, make sure you join us next week for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Tomorrow night we are getting Mark Riley versus Video Drew. On this very show, we will be joined by Video Drew. So we'll be getting her thoughts, feelings, and opinions on her match, how she thought she did against Mark Riley. That one's gonna be a blast.
It's gonna be a ton of fun. Back to you, whoever.
Yeah. So make sure y'all come back tomorrow night for that. Those of y'all in the chat, again, thank y'all for being here. Thank you for watching this live. Thank y'all for participating. Craig, thank you for joining us on this replay. This has been, again, a lot of fun. I think we got like a lot of stuff out in the open. So good. So again, thank you for being on here. And yeah, that's going to do it for this. As for my brother, as for myself, as for Craig the Barbarian, thank y'all for watching. Y'all all have a great evening. Oh yeah, Patreon. Join the Patreon. Patreon.com/CineFanatics. That thing. Yes, hop on the tier. And as for all of us that I have mentioned, thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good night and laters.
See ya.